Good evening, folks. This is Deb and Dave, and this is your weekly wake-up call. We're not going to waste any more time. Here's Dave.
So first, what I want to say is that I am very proud to have worked, even in a small part, on a campaign in the new New York House District 10 for Yuleen New. I think she ran a fantastic grassroots campaign. Unfortunately, she ran short, 1,300 votes, and she thought about running in the general in November on the Working Families Party line because she did get that line. However, she decided not to do that jointly with the Working Families Party. And I'm proud that they made that decision because I feel like it was the right decision at the time. Yuleen, if she decides to run again, she's 39 years old, and the next election is just in 2 years. What she said was enough of the absentee ballots have been counted. We're conceding the primary. I will not be on the Working Families Party line for the general. We simply do not have the resources to fight all the fights at the same time, and we must protect our democracy now. She said that even though it is the bare minimum, we need to keep insurrectionists out of government and vote as many Democratic Senate and House and governors in as humanly possible, and that's the bare minimum because we do need better Democrats. However, fighting the DNC, Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic Party who backed Dan Goldman, as well as the Working Family Party fighting Dan Goldman, who put millions of dollars in his own campaign, the Working Families Party and Yuleen simply don't have the financial resources or the time to really fight that battle. And there are more battles to be fought. So it was a selfless thing to do. And fortunately, the Republicans aren't as selfless. we have the case in Alaska where you have Sarah Palin and Gagich fighting each other over the nomination to unseat Peltola, who won the special. What I will say, I want to go back to for a second. People were upset that Yuleen didn't run. You know what? If you guys are so upset, maybe you should have more than 20% of registered Democratic voters vote in District 10. That's pathetic. That's just sad. And it's for anyone who wanted to vote or is complaining about it and didn't vote, that's an insult to all of the extremely hard workers that worked and volunteered on that campaign. I saw very dedicated people on that campaign and on other campaigns, to be completely honest with you. So next election is in 2 years. You want a better candidate than Dan Goldman in 2 years, fine. But in the meantime, we have to back Dan Goldman now.
Yep. Let me say something about that. Is he more of an establishment candidate? He is. But Dan Goldman was also the prosecuting attorney in the first Donald Trump impeachment trial. And no matter whether they're establishment candidates or whether they're, grassroots candidates like AOC, right now, the Democrats are nothing like the GOP, and they absolutely have to prevail in November. There is no such thing as sitting around and waiting till 2024. If the GOP takes over in 2022, there is no 2024 recovery. People need to get a clue. And if you're going to repeat these dismal numbers in November, you're going to fucking lose. It's a simple.
By the way, I have a tweet that Yuleen sent out to everyone. Take a look at it if you're wondering who she is or whatever, and wondering if you should consider asking her to run the next election. Personally, I think she's a very passionate candidate, empathetic candidate. We'd be lucky to have her, but because of the dismal numbers, she may not run. Who knows? Another thing, Texas, I'm calling out a candidate, Vincent Gonzalez. You need to stop using words like the GOP stole the last election because they have so much money and they're outspending us millions to hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is not the issue. The issue is the voters aren't getting out. The
Democratic voters aren't getting out. In the face of everything we're seeing, the Democratic voters aren't getting out. Shame on fucking you. End of story. You know what? No, there's no way to make this pretty, okay? You're either going to stop bitching and do your civic duty or you're not. And it's as simple as that, okay? Voting is a no-brainer in this election. And you know what? I voted by mail. It's also not a whole hell of a lot of work. So get it done.
There were dismal numbers. You know, in New York, it was the New York 10. It was 19.4%. These were really the primary numbers were ridiculous in Texas.
In Massachusetts, the primary numbers for the state of Massachusetts, 22.5%. Pathetic. We are an overwhelmingly Democratic state. If you turn out those numbers for Maura Healey in November, Jeff Deal, Trump-backed candidate, is going to win. You need to pay attention, because the one thing the GOP does far better than you do, the one thing the Republican voters do, is show up to vote for their candidates, as fucking twisted as they are. So it's time the Democrats take a page out of the Republican playbook.
So
Let's get this done.
I was looking for specific numbers to this 34th special election. I couldn't find them. I know that in the 34th district, it's 711,851. I understand that not all of those may even be of voting age, but 12,560 voted Democratic to 14,780 with Myra Flores as the Republican candidate. You cannot tell me that those numbers are pathetic voting numbers for a special election. And I understand that special elections tend to be overlooked, but we cannot overlook these anymore. And by the way, you get another bite at the apple come November. And if you want to win these as a Democrat, you have to get out and vote, and do not assume that any race is won, including the one in Alaska and including the special election that we won in New York. They get another bite at it. We're good.
All right. We'll see you guys soon at the big show. And listen to us, will you? Bye.